Happy Monday. Mistral and I are back, and we are here with a new series that we're really excited about because we keep getting questions about the variables in human design, those four arrows that show up on your body chart. Some point left, some point right. What does all of this mean? So, we're going to chat about it, just about this series that we're doing. Each week, we're going to talk about a different arrow because this is stuff that we cover inside our membership Planning by Design. And we're so excited for our call tomorrow. Hello, Mistral.
Hey, Jen. All right. This is such a good topic we're holding today.
Yes. Yeah, I'm so excited. I love working with the arrows. I know you love working with the arrows, especially when it comes to manifestation. And I get questions about these all the time.
Me too. And honestly, it's something that most human design coaches don't really talk about. They're kind of almost like taboo. And a lot of people say that they don't want to talk about them because it distracts you from understanding your energy, authority, and strategy. But we all know that's the baseline. And what's really helpful with the arrows that we're talking about today is it really helps you understand areas of where you're meant to be more in flow and areas of where you're meant to be more in structure. So, like the masculine and the feminine energy. And I love this conversation so much.
Yeah. So we're kind of just setting this all up today to let people know what's coming the next 4 and really 5 Mondays when we do our Instagram lives at 1:30 Eastern.
That's right. Today's a little intro to the arrows, and then we're going to be going specifically into what each arrow actually means and how you can kind of utilize it a little bit in your life and business. But the magic really happens in Planning by Design, where we talk about this a lot, just about every week.
Yeah, we really do. And we're so excited, with the new month, with March, to kick off this month tomorrow with our goal setting call and intention setting. So it's really cool to see how the women in this group have begun integrating the knowledge of their arrows, whether they need to set an intention to be more in flow if they have right facing arrows, or if they need to create more structure and routines if they have the left facing arrows.
Yeah, exactly. And I know for me, I'm a quad right, meaning all of my arrows point to the right. And Jen has a little bit more of a blend. And so we thought today we'd talk just a little bit about what that means for each of us. And then, of course, if you want to learn more about what those actually mean for you, again, join us in Planning by Design because that's where we really unlock the magic of these arrows and of your human design working for you in life and business.
Yeah, yeah. So, Mistral, tell us what it's like to have all your arrows pointing in one direction, and especially for all of them being right. Like, what does this really allow, having this knowledge? What does this allow for within your business?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question, Jen. And I think just to preface it, when I first learned about human design, of course, I was working with a human design coach and she was teaching me about, energy, authority, strategy, and really holding me accountable to this, especially as a manifesting generator. I had to really understand what that meant for me, right? I have a lot of energy. I think way outside the box. I'm quite a visionary. But then what landed for me was understanding these quad right arrows. This means that in my day-to-day life and everything that I do, I am meant to be really in the feminine flow energy, right? Not really having structure, not really having set schedules, but really being in the flow. And when I embrace that, I found so much more freedom and joy and expansion in my day, in my life, in my business. And that was really helpful for me because prior to that, I was trying to run my business in the same kind of schedule that you would run a 9 to 5, because that's what I'd been taught. You come to work, at 9, 8:30, whatever your time is that you start, and you stay until 5 and you do all the things you need to do within that time frame. But really, I enjoy a schedule that kind of fluctuates and goes all over the place. And I was successful when I worked in corporate because I was in jobs that did allow me to have that freedom of flow. And as soon as that started to get sort of stifled, I would find myself losing motivation, lacking inspiration, and not really wanting to show up and be in that position anymore. And hence, I would look for another job. My typical job range is about every 9 years. I tend to fluctuate and turn something over to change something different, which is kind of interesting pattern in my life. But I think what's important for that is now that I've known that about myself, I can build that into my day. I can build the freedom. I can build the flow. I can build that flexibility. And it might be something as simple as, okay, I'm going to spend the first hour at my desk, and then I'm going to go sit on my couch, and then I'm going to go sit outside, when it's warmer and it's not 11 degrees outside. And then I'm going to go and do a quick workout, and then I'm going to come back and sit at my desk. That might be an example of having that freedom and flow in my day. And you can see how that could be incorporated into a 9 to 5 job, right? So I'm not saying that you can't be working in a 9 to 5 job, but this is kind of an example of how that works for me, is finding the flow versus structure.
Yeah, and I think it's so helpful to know because we can see the conditioning, right? Some conditioning that you may have received may have told you you have to sit at your desk in this one position for 8 hours straight, and you are expected to make massive productivity, and you should have the energy to do all of that. And that for you would just throw you right into your not self theme, and you would just be frustrated, and you probably wouldn't even get to stay at that job 9 years.
That's right.
So just knowing that and allowing yourself, right? Having the alignment and the ability to move around, right? With the four arrows in terms of digestion, how you digest food, but also life. Your environment, right? Needing to move and change and find flow within your environment with awareness. What are you aware of that's happening around you? And your perspective, right? What are you perceiving, especially on the peripherals, right? So you need to find different things to just keep you excited, and especially as a manifesting generator too. It's like, yeah, bebop all around. You really, really need to with that quad right, all of your arrows pointing right.
Yeah, and that was, let me tell you, revolutionary, because that's what I wanted in my life, was to have this flexible schedule and freedom and flow, but I didn't think I could have it, right? For many reasons. And when I discovered that that's how I work best, and I sort of started testing that out, it's obvious that that's exactly how I work best. And so finding that out and setting the schedule in that way allowed me to just have more success in all areas of my life. And that's where we talk a lot about business, but really this is about life, setting the stage for life and business.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And for me, three of my four arrows face left. So in many ways, I'm the opposite of Mistral. Not completely, right? I'm not a quad left. All of my arrows don't face left, but I am someone who needs more consistency. I need my routines. I need to be able to let my body just take over and go through the motions so that I can daydream or just check out or mentally rest, because that's how I'm designed. And when I try to put a lot of flow and free time on my plate, it really doesn't work. Like, I don't get anything done. But when I have an outline, a structure, a routine, like my morning routine is my everything. If I don't do it, I get lost. My day gets thrown off. I am not productive. I don't find success. I may fall into my not self theme of bitterness a lot easier. So, knowing my digestion arrow and my environment arrow, that they both point left, that I need to do the same things in the same way around the same time in the same place has changed my life, right? I tried to be like you, Mistral, and I was like, well, maybe I can go work at a coffee shop, and maybe I can do this, and maybe I can do that. And when I realized left facing arrows, I need to be at my desk in this one spot, I am wildly more efficient. I get tons of stuff done. I feel successful. And then I get to go play and have that structured free time in my life as well.
Yes, yes. And this is what I love about discovering these little nuances in human design, because I feel like when people hear about me just being a manifesting generator, you kind of do get put into this box of like, oh, well, this is what a manifesting generator is. And it's like, well, wait a second. This is one little piece of human design. Same for projector and any other energy type. And when we start to dive into these arrows, it makes it so much more exciting to be like, okay, and now I can really find success because I'm diving into this little area here, and I'm finding more flow and freedom here, and I'm finding more success here, and satisfaction and joy, and all these pieces, which allow us to really glow in everything that we're doing and creating. So we have a question here, which is amazing. Hello, Content Witch. All right.
Love it.
Those, yeah, are those the arrows on top? Yes. If you're looking at your human design chart, on either side of sort of where your head would be, there's four arrows, and they either point to the right or the left, or a combination of sorts. So drop in the chat to let us know what your arrows are doing. And then, of course, if you want to go deeper, we have our first goal setting, intention setting call tomorrow with Planning by Design, where we talk a lot about these pieces.
Yeah, our monthly membership. And just in case, Content Witch, if you were asking about when I was talking about my digestion and environment arrow, those are the arrows on the left. Those are your unconscious arrows that I tend to talk more about and really work within deconditioning, the work that I coach and guide clients through. And Mistral tends to work more with the conscious arrows, the awareness and perspective arrows that also lead into how you manifest. So definitely stay tuned each week as we go through each of these arrows. And then at the end, we'll talk about manifestation.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ooh,
Each arrow
so
is, oh, go ahead.
I'm just reading Content Witch your top ones are right and bottom are left. This was something that we talked about last week on our Human Design Q&A call that is free, open to everyone. But this was really in here when Mr. All was talking about marketing. And I recall that we phrased it as finding balance, right? When your top arrows point one way and your bottom arrows point the other, it's really about finding balance within the energies of conscious and unconscious. Definitely, look more specifically into them. But the other piece that I love talking about the arrows is it's so cool to see them kind of sum up your entire chart in a different way. Like just when you look at the arrows, you're like, oh, that really makes sense. Like Mistral was talking about, yes, I'm a manifesting generator. Yes, I'm an emotional authority. So it's just kind of another way to see yourself and to know what works for you, right? Let's work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, that's what this is all about. And I think understanding too that for me being in corporate and kind of being shoved into like, you have to have your masculine energy and you have to do it this way to really be like, oh, but I find so much more success, especially when I'm creating a business, to be in my feminine flow, to embrace that, right? And to learn how to embrace that and like peel those conditioning layers off and really step into what I'm actually here to do and be and create in this world. And, then that just allows me to be more confident in myself and provide more self-leadership for myself and for others to be inspired and step into their power too. So that was a little side note, but yes, it is so cool. And we love sharing about it because it's what helps other women, find their way in the world too.
Yeah, absolutely. So let us know if you're joining us inside Planning by Design tomorrow. The link is in our bios if you want to join. It is our monthly membership. We have calls every Tuesday. We'll be putting the schedule out of what March looks like very soon, but we would love to see you in there. Oh, you're so welcome, Content Witch. Thank you for joining us. And come back each Monday, 1:30 Eastern, as we dive into each of these four arrows and then talk about manifestation, because how you manifest, how you are meant to and can energetically align yourself with your manifestations is in here too.
Yes, this is the best. These are my favorite things to talk about. As you can probably tell, we're glowing and so excited about it. So we'll be back next Monday to talk about, I guess we'll do the top left arrow. We'll talk about digestion next week, and we'll kind of just work our way down, and we'll be excited to see you all there. Or join us in Planning by Design, where we can do one-on-one, a little bit more one-on-one with you as well. All right.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye.